Game Trailers Ultimate 2012 Video Game Preview.
You watched our Game of the Year awards and you know that 2011 was a banner year for RPGs. It's hard to imagine 2012 being better, but a murderous row of heavyweights step up early to potentially start the year off with a bang. Many of these upcoming games are sequels to blockbusters, but a few newcomers looking to break into the scene as well. Here are the most important RPGs to keep an eye on in 2012.
Final Fantasy XIII-2.
We could state the obvious here and say how we, like many others, were burned by Final Fantasy XIII, but it appears Square Enix might have actually listened to the complaints from fans. The recent demo and last month's import hint at many improvements that could get the series back on track.
Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning.
Though it's flown a bit under the radar, Reckoning is one to watch given the big names attached to its development. It's a unique action RPG with a deep, responsive combat system that blurs the genre lines. The game has been described as a cross between God of War and Skyrim, with a campaign that spans well over 100 hours.
Mass Effect 3.
Commander Shepard brings the fight back to Earth, where the Reapers have staged an all-out invasion to eradicate mankind. The glimpses we've caught over the past year have teased us with bits of gameplay and story info that have made the wait difficult to endure. What do the cold recesses of space have in store for Shepard and his comrades? We'll find out in early March.
Tales of Grace's F.
The long overdue localization of Tales of Graces finally makes it stateside this year. We're impressed with Tales of Vesperia's lengthy adventure and visual style, and Grace F seems poised to continue the tradition with a revamped battle system and refinements to the art mechanics that are a staple of the series.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Nintendo's localization decisions are about as predictable as the weather, but somehow a vocal minority, with a little pressure from a certain retailer, has managed to convince the publisher to bring it to our shores. Critics from both Japan and Europe praise it for its fast-paced battle system, the enormous environments, and the countless side quests. It's not just a great Wii RPG, it's a great RPG, period.
Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch.
We've seen several games over the years try to replicate the look and feel of an animated series, but nothing has come as close to pulling this off as Ni no Kuni. Beauty alone isn't enough to make a great game, but thankfully Level 5, developers of the critically acclaimed Dragon Quest IX, are up to the challenge. Throw in some gorgeous cutscenes courtesy of animation powerhouse Studio Ghibli, and you have the makings of a spellbinding role-player.
Borderlands 2.
Borderlands is certainly a unique game, with stylish visuals that crosses loot hoarding with character building and first-person shooting gameplay. The sequel looks to improve upon the original formula with a few new upgrades, including a dynamic quest system that alters the progression of your story, and a seamlessly connected world filled with smarter enemies. The first is a sleeper hit, but Borderlands 2 won't catch anyone napping.
Diablo 3.
Another marquee Blizzard franchise gets its long-overdue sequel when Diablo 3 ransacks PCs and possibly consoles sometime this year. No stranger to making headlines, Blizzard has caught everyone's attention with the ability to sell in-game items for real cashola. Yet the multiplayer component is the real selling point to this drop-driven clickfest.
Final Fantasy Type 0.
Final Fantasy Type O director Hajime Tabata has stated that an international version of the game is in the works, but it remains to be seen whether it's heading to its original home on the PSP, or perhaps getting enhanced for the PlayStation Vita. Eschewing turn-based battles for real-time action and having a heavier emphasis on multiplayer, Type O might be a new lease on life for a series that has been caught flat-footed of late.
Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Kingdom Hearts returns this year with a new portable installment for the 3DS. Kingdom Hearts 3D will mark the first time characters outside of the Disney or Final Fantasy universes make an appearance, as the cast of The World Ends With You are set for cameos. Of course, there's plenty of new mechanics and features too, some of which are said to have spawned from Final Fantasy Versus 13.
South Park: The Game.
We had delusions of grandeur when we first heard about the upcoming South Park RPG, but since media of the game has begun to trickle out, we've had to curb our enthusiasm to an extent. Still, the combination of Obsidian and the talent behind the hit TV show has us excited about the possibilities of a comedic role-playing game. We have no questions about it being funny. Hopefully the game itself won't end up being a laugher.